right, welcome tea family. How is everybody today? Hopefully you are all doing wonderfully. We are going to be talking about our Summer Kiss tea, so let's go ahead and get this started. Summer Kiss is a green tea, so we're only going to heat our water up to 180 degrees today. Welcome, welcome. I am super excited that everybody's here. As always, please feel free to share what you're drinking today in the chat or in the comments, depending on how you're watching us live. Also, if you have any questions whatsoever, the same thing, the chat or the comments, please put it in there. I'm happy and very excited to answer any questions that you have about tea or tea-related things today. So, we got our water boiling. Let's talk a little bit about Summer Kiss tea. It is our new one. And this is what it looks like. It is freeze-dried peaches green tea. And it's actually a jasmine green tea. And then also some red raspberry leaf all together. And that is what it looks like. What it smells like the light fragrance of a peach grove is what it smells like to me when I open it up. We'll see what you think. But this is what we're going to be having today. So I'm going to go ahead and get this prepped. I've got my summery teacup out. Now I will tell you that the red raspberry leaf does not add a raspberry flavor to it. It adds a sweetness, like a hint of a red berry, but it really is not a red raspberry. So again, this is what we're going to be drinking today. Summer Kiss. It does have freeze-dried peaches in it. So that means you're going to do a 2-minute first-time brew. So I'll get my phone started. So once this water heats up, we will go ahead and be ready to go. All right. So, all right, Summer Kiss, named by one of our tea testers this time. We kept going back and forth. We were thinking Summer Breeze. We were thinking lots of peachy kind of names, but we decided we're going to go with Summer Kiss. This one's only going to be available June, July, and August. So, the water heats up. All right. Now, question. Starlight Pear. Are you enjoying the Starlight Pear, Diane? I know lots of people do enjoy that one. We're getting a lot of push to try and make it available for either A, a longer season, or B, year-round. The problem is pear season's relatively short, and we don't want to just get... I can't just go to the grocery store and buy pears. That doesn't quite work. So right now, it's still going to be a specialty item or a limited time brew. All right.
Some people are up for the fall blend. You can do something with corn.
With the fall blend, I can do something with corn. No, fall blends. I'm glad you're enjoying that. That's awesome. With the fall blends, we typically do apple appealing. In fact, we actually are starting to prep to start making the appealing tea now so that we have it ready for the fall. So, yeah, our appealing tea. That is freeze-dried apples. That is a black tea blend, as well as the tea is primarily from Sri Lanka and India, and then it also has cinnamon in it. So. So Stephanie is hoarding the, her Starlight Pear and would love to have a longer season. And Diane tried Summer Kiss. She did try it in one of our samples. We did send that out to her. So that's what I'm going to be enjoying today as we chat, the Summer Kiss. And again, questions or anything in the chat. I'm trying to speak really loud, so I apologize if it's too loud. I have the water heating right here, right next to my ear, so it makes it very, very, very loud. And then my handy dandy assistant is over here telling me things at the same time. So there's a lot of noise on this side, and it's kind of quiet over here. So, looks like, so see, starting to get a little, I don't think you can see it in the thing, but we are starting to get the tiny bubbles coming up, which means we are approaching.
Apple peeling, yes.
Apple appealing, yes, that is exactly how we got it. We were looking at names, and the handy dandy assistant named that one. He thought it was appealing because both it's an appealing flavor as well as there was a lot of apple peeling involved as we had to prep the apples to be freeze dried and everything. So yes, and the apples that are in it are ones that we brought back from New England. Last October during apple season in New England, we actually brought them back. And we tried a couple small batches with them when we got home, and oh my goodness, so amazing, so amazing. Yes, it's another dad joke. You know, the handy dandy assistant can't go without a dad joke. That's just not possible for him. All right.
Start your timer.
And I am starting my timer now. And then we will put this up right here. Okay, so one of the things that I wanted to talk about and remember questions in the comments or chat, but one of the things I wanted to talk about with regard to this summer kiss tea, obviously I talked about it, I talked about the ingredients and different things like that. It is primarily a green tea with a start at the beginning where you get peach flavor, and then it has like a peach flavor finish. And it is not an overpowering peach. I know I say this a lot. I just don't want people get really used to the artificial flavors, even the artificial natural flavors where it's added in. And that's not what you're going to get here. And so everything is like super flavored or super powerful. And this is a light peach infused flavor without losing kind of that green tea flavor as well. And that is one of the things we actually like about it, because this is a natural flavor naturally. All we did was freeze dry the peaches, and that's it. And then we added them into the tea. But that is why we're doing a 2-minute brew for the first time as opposed to a 1-minute brew for the first time. And that is because the first minute really is hydrating that freeze dried peaches. And then the second minute is actually brewing it in with all the other teas and everything like that. So, let's see. What would you pair this with? Well, I'm going to talk about some food pairings for summer kiss tea today. First, I would say a lot of your summer foods are lighter, and they're going to pair well with this lighter tea. And when I talk about lighter, it's like a black tea just seems like a heavier, more robust flavor, whereas the green teas are typically lighter flavors, especially if you add in a fruit to it.
What would you pair with peach teas? Pears!
I'm not going to pair pears with peach teas. Boys. All right, so if you see right there on your screen, it's a very light colored tea. I definitely filled it. There you go. But I can smell the green tea in the peaches, and then just a little sweetness, which I know comes from the red raspberry leaf. All right, so what would I eat with this food-wise? Light salads. You know, salads are something that are consumed for whatever reason. A lot of people only eat salad in summer. I eat salad year round. But especially if it was what I think of as a more robust salad that maybe has some like arugula leaves in it, maybe some goat cheese as opposed to a standard, or an extra sharp cheddar cheese that has a little bit more of a bite to it, and a citrus vinaigrette. That is what I would put with this, because the fresh peppery taste of the arugula, and either that extra sharp cheddar cheese with the bite or the goat cheese are going to complement the sweet notes of this tea. And the citrus is just going to bring out that peach a little bit more. And so that is why one of the things that I would do. Now, if you wanted this tea with dessert, you know, a lot of people have coffee with desserts. As a non-coffee drinker, I would have a tea with a dessert. And so if I was thinking desserts, I would say you couldn't go wrong with like a peach cobbler or a mixed berry tart or something on that. And that's because you get the natural sweetness of the fruit, and that's going to bring out the peach and the sweet notes of the red raspberry leaves. And so they're just going to really kind of blend well in harmony together. Now, if I was doing a sandwich, a lot of people will do a sandwich if the day is super, super hot. We haven't really had a lot of hot weather yet, but I know it's coming when you don't really want to heat up your kitchen with like a heavier meal. I would say, I know avocados are really, really popular with other people. They're not my favorite, but like a turkey and avocado sandwich on like a robust, zesty whole grain bread would go really, really well with this tea. You've got the savory flavors of like a smoked turkey, and the avocado is going to match that subtle sweetness of the tea, and it's going to kind of balance each other out as opposed to like one note. Now, one of our favorite things to consume over the summer is out on the grill grilling some chicken breast. Just plain old chicken. I would definitely do that. That would pair really, really well with this because it's a lighter thing. Um, Now, for those that like seafood, I would say like a lemon herb grilled shrimp would work really, really well. Uh, Take your shrimp, marinate it in the lemon juice, garlic, some fresh herbs in there, different things like that. Maybe even just a touch of like rosemary as one of your fresh herbs in there. And then, you know, just grill it up. That citrus herbal flavor combined with the shrimp is going to complement the fruity notes of this tea, which will be a nice, refreshing combination. Now, if you really want to bring out the peach even more, something you could do would be a peach and prosciutto flatbread sandwich. So, flatbread topped with a balsamic glaze, not an aioli. I would go with like a balsamic glaze, arugula again, prosciutto, and then super, super thinly sliced peaches layered up on your flatbread. That would be really yummy. The peaches are going to balance both of them because they have the same notes. But the prosciutto is going to have that savory, salty element with the arugula that's going to bring that peppery, savory note in. And so it's really going to have some like flavors and contrasting flavors and be absolutely, absolutely a delicious blend. So let's see. I wouldn't put this tea with anything super heavy like a red meat or a beef or a bison or anything like that. Um, I would stick to your lighter, more summery foods. When I was pairing this tea, because this peach tea is a very light, summery, refreshing kind of a drink. Um, it's going to balance a little bit better when you are just looking at the lighter foods. So let's see what else.
Kelly's here.
Oh, Kelly's here. Welcome, Kelly. Okay, pasta. That's another popular summer food that I would pair. I would really stick to a very Mediterranean approach to pasta. So you'd have the pasta salad with like the olives and fresh cherry tomatoes and feta cheese, almost that Greek feta cheese a little bit. The flavors that come from the Mediterranean tend to be very bold in that, and they would contrast really well with the light, refreshing balance of flavors in the Summer Kiss tea. And if you were doing like fruit and cheeses, I would stick, in this case, I know for the salads I said I would go with the zestier cheeses, but if it was just a fruit and cheese plate, I would probably go with some of the more mild cheeses, brie or Camembert, whatever that French one is. I am not a French speaker. I can fake Italian as I'm learning it, definitely Spanish, but French is not my language. Sorry. But like something like that with a touch of honey. It's more of the texture, the creaminess of the texture is going to pair really well and balance really well with this light and slight fruit note to the Summer Kiss tea.
What about cream cheese? With fruit, maybe?
You could do a cream cheese. You could do a cream cheese. If you were having a morning, like you could do a plain, an egg bagel, and then I would put a straight light whipped cream cheese with it if you wanted to balance it, but I would probably say that's where I would go with like a prosciutto or even a pastrami on top if you were adding a meat. So you just get that pepperiness to it, that zest to balance, so it's not sweet on sweet on sweet. But those are some of the things that I would pair with this particular tea, the Summer Kiss tea. I always want to try and give you all some different ways of pairing teas and foods and different things like that. There's a lot involved because you want to have some flavors that complement and some flavors that contrast, and you don't want to really do too much of one or the other, and that's one of the things. But how about we talk about enjoying this tea 4 ways other than just as a delicious hot tea like I'm having now? Well, first of all, I know you can have this tea hot or cold. We've had it hot and cold when we test it. We always do that to all of our teas. So I'm not even counting that. But you could use this to make a Summer Kiss, what I would call a Summer Kiss lemonade. And this would be, I would brew this tea super strong and almost make a Summer Kiss tea concentrate. And how I would do is I would double the amount of tea that I steeped into that 1 cup of water, we'll say. So instead of 1 teaspoon per 6 to 8 ounces, I would do 2 teaspoons and brew it for that first 2 minutes. Then I would allow it to cool, and I would mix probably equal parts of the tea concentrate with a fresh squeezed lemonade. And then that lemonade sweetened to the point that you would like, and mix those together. I would probably add ice. If you like mint, you could garnish with mint, but I would probably be that's where I would take a nice fresh summer peach, and I would probably slice one up for my garnish and maybe stick one in my glass of tea just to really bring out a little bit more of the peach juice. And because the lemonade, if you're doing fresh squeeze, is going to be very powerful, and peach is a lighter note. So I would go ahead, and that's why I would make it a concentrate, so twice as strong. And that's why I'd probably stick a little peach in there. Plus, it's fun. You know, you get like a little slice of peach coming up in your tea. It looks like really like a fun, fancy summer drink. Just get your little umbrella in there and you are all set. Now, so that's one way to drink the tea other than just straight hot or cold. How about another way to use the Summer Kiss tea in an unusual manner? How about as a Summer Kiss popsicle? So you're going to brew it up like you normally would. You're going to let it cool. I would add in, whether it's warm or cooler, if you want to sweeten it all, that's when you would add like honey. I think this would be amazing with like a lavender honey, a lavender infused honey, or an agave syrup, or whatever you would want to use. I use a lot of simple syrup, so like I wouldn't probably, I would either use a lavender infused honey, or I would do a probably a lavender or a vanilla infused, probably a vanilla simple syrup with this.
Strawberries.
Um, you could do a red raspberry. You could do whatever flavor combination you want. But I would say take that, and then you've got it all mixed up how you want it. You're going to let it cool, put it in the popsicle mold, and then freeze it. And then when it's the heat of the day and you just want something cool, but you don't really want anything really heavy or sugary, this is where I would definitely pop that out, have that popsicle. Hey, popsicles are not just for little kids, okay? They're for grown-ups too. But you'd be able to pop that out, and really you're just enjoying a cup of tea, but it's a frozen cup of tea that you can take out and enjoy the heat and the warmth of the summer.
Or,
So,
or you make ice cubes with it and then pop them in water.
okay, so the handy dandy assistant is trying to jump ahead to number 3. Did you all hear him?
No, he didn't.
Put a thumbs up in the chat if you actually heard what he just suggested.
Kelly thinks you're a guru now.
Kelly thinks I'm a guru.
Let's talk about a cookbook for you.
Kelly, I appreciate that so much. I don't know if I think of myself as I just love pairing teas with foods, and so that's one of the things that I love to do. So you heard him. Okay. Okay. I know at least Kelly heard him. All right. So that is number 3. Summer Kiss ice cubes. So pour the tea, make it up how you want it. In this case, I wouldn't sweeten it at all. I would just pour it into the ice cube trays. And I saw a comment come up. Somebody said something about stealing your sentence. um, but I would put it in ice cube trays, and then, okay, if you want to go really crazy out there, dice up some of the peach, some fresh peach, and drop a couple little tiny bits in each ice cube. And if you wanted, you could also add a little bit of raspberry, or you could just put a raspberry in there, however you like it. Freeze it till it's solid. And then when you wanted to enjoy it with whatever beverage you wanted, now you could use, let's see, if I still drank soda, I would drop these ice cubes in like a ginger ale, like a really true ginger ale, not like necessarily. There's a place in downtown Junction City that actually still makes old-fashioned sodas. And they still use like real sugar as opposed to corn syrups and different things like that. And it tastes homemade because it basically is. And it's pricier, and it's in a hardware store of all places, but like it's amazing. I would take like one of their ginger ales, and I would drop the ice cubes in that. I would definitely use it in a lemonade. I talked to you all about that before when we do all the zesting in the teas and freeze drying the lemons. We end up with lemon juice. Man, fresh squeezed lemonade is a thing here. So if I was having some lemonade, I would drop these ice cubes in that drink. But you could put it even in water. You know, just some nice ice cold water. Put some ice cubes in it. You're going to get, as it melts, you just get a little bit of the flavor of the tea.
So listen to what Diane says.
Handy dandy assistant. I'm going to tattle on you. Sorry, I have to look. I try not to look at the comments over here unless he tells me I need to, because I'm trying to look at you and chat with you. Okay, number 4.
Diane's trying to get me in trouble.
Number 4, you get into enough trouble on your own. Okay. Number 4, I would say a summer kiss sangria. Now, this could be with or without alcohol. As you know, we make a lot of tea mocktails, and then I always tell you how to make it a cocktail. Well, if I was making it a cocktail, a summer kiss sangria, I would do a tea concentrate. I would use double strength, brew it really strong. In the pitcher, I would combine that with a white wine like a Sauvignon Blanc. You could I would even say a white Zinfandel, which is kind of like a slightly pinkish flavor, but like something on that idea. And then I would add sliced peaches, raspberries. If you really wanted to make it a little bit more, you could add some peach schnapps. I am not a fan of peach schnapps. That is a long story, some for another day. Um, and you chill it in the refrigerator so it's nice and icy cold, and then you could serve it. Now, what I would do though is as a mocktail, which is much more likely what's actually going to happen in my house. I'm going to still brew this tea double strong. So I'm going to do a nice tea concentrate with it. I am going to still add in probably some peaches and some raspberries, some strawberries. I know the handy dandy assistant said that too. I would definitely, I am a strawberry kind of person. I love strawberries. So I would add those in there as well. And I would add well, if I didn't want to share, I would add club soda because the handy dandy assistant does not care for club soda. But you could also do a ginger ale, like I said, or you could do a lemonade, in which case I would just make sure it's a watered down lemonade. You could do that in and make it basically a summer kiss punch type of this situation. So those are 4 other ways that you could potentially enjoy this summer kiss tea. Okay, questions, comments, anything that anybody wanted to ask me about, whether it's one of the pairings that I've talked about, the tea itself, or some of the other ways that you can enjoy this tea, or even just a different question that's somehow tea related, please let me know. What I will also say is next week will be our big question week, and that's where I'm going to try and primarily focus on questions that you send me, so please send me some questions. I'm thankful that you always do, and everybody is great about that. But like, continue to send me the questions. I think we haven't made a mocktail in a while, so I think we're gonna make a mocktail. And I think maybe if you saw the post that I did this morning, I talked about one of the fun facts about tea. And I said some teas change color. So I was thinking we have a tea that is called Summer Butterfly, and it does have butterfly pea flowers in it. So we could do the experiment, and I can show you the 2 different colors. So like we could brew it up. I can add the lemon juice. You can watch it change color. And then we could actually turn it into some kind of a mocktail. Think that might be what we do when we answer questions next week. All right, let me look down. Okay, thank you, Kelly. She's going to write them down and she's going to share them with us, which is always great.
Cool about the summer butterfly.
Yeah, I like that. I think I love the idea of the stuff that changes color. And here's the thing. When our grandbabies come, we have 2 granddaughters, and when our grandbabies come, they love doing stuff like that. First of all, they love helping make the tea. They actually do like going to the farmers markets and the community events that we do, which is good because we still go. They absolutely love it. But they have fun creating teas with us, and they have fun, like when we did the summer butterfly, they named it. They named that one. They helped create that one. And we were going to do the color change, but they ended up wanting to do something else that day. And so, it's just the fun stuff that you get to do. And like I said with the popsicles, you don't have to be a little kid to enjoy a popsicle. You don't have to be a little kid to enjoy the fact that teas can change colors if you add some lemon juice to it. So, all right, I don't see any other questions coming in. So I will say thanks for joining me. We will see you all next week. We'll definitely be making a mocktail and probably talking about summer butterfly tea. I hope you all have an amazing, amazing week, and I will see you all later.